big announcement coming from the Prime Minister this morning, a major reshuffle in the Prime Minister's cabinet. Several changes being made, but the Prime Minister stopping short of a ruthless surgery at this point. The changes that the Prime Minister has announced, induction of Kishore Chandradev as the new Tribal Affairs Minister. Jayanti Natarajan comes in as Minister of State, independent charge in the Environment Ministry. She replaces Jairam Ramesh. Jairam Ramesh moved up to Cabinet Minister's rank in the Rural Development Ministry. Vilas Rao Deshmukh being cut to size, being sent to the Science and Technology Department. A new Law Minister, Veerappa Moily, moves out to the Corporate Affairs Ministry in place of Murli Deora, and in his place comes Salman Khurshid. New faces also inducted in the cabinet. Jitendra Singh, very close associate of Rahul Gandhi, comes in as Minister of State in the Home Affairs Department. He is the MP from Alwar. Also coming in is Milind Deora. He is the son of Murli Deora, comes in as Minister of State in the Communications and Information Technology Ministry. Also coming in is Rajiv Shukla, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs. He will have his job cut out for him with the monsoon session of Parliament approaching. Not too many big changes, and Aarti Jairath, the senior editor of Times of India, joins us at this point. Aarti, we were discussing that the Prime Minister has stopped off short of that ruthless surgery that would have been expected from him, and clearly some sort of a balancing act still going on there, and several at this point, the issue really here being how does he balance the party's requirement and the government's requirement? Do you see any conflict between the Congress party and the government here?
Navika, every cabinet, whichever government it's been, the political requirements have always, I think, taken precedence over merit and, talents and skills. Unfortunately, this is a reality of our parliamentary system, which is why we quite often see a mismatch between the minister and his set of skills and the ministry that he's been given, or the portfolio that he's been given, and the skills required, for that portfolio. So I think that this is the reality we have to live with. Which is why, the Prime Minister has not been able to send out the strong message that we did expect from this reshuffle. If you remember, the last time he had done a reshuffle, he had said that, the next one would be a really sort of big one in which, he would rationalize, his sort of the distribution of work. But unfortunately, he's not been able to do that.
Aarti, no changes in the big four. Also the fact that infrastructure sector, economic reforms have been on the standby for a long time. Do you think the Prime Minister has been able to do anything in that area, something that he would have liked to do?
Oh, absolutely. I think he would have liked to put in far more effective ministers in the infrastructure ministries, which he has not been able to do. I'm not sure whether there've been any changes. You have the list in front of you. I don't, unfortunately. So I don't know whether he's really been able to make any changes in any of the infrastructure ministries. And, this is again, where political considerations, this balancing act between your regional compulsions, your electoral compulsions, your caste compulsions, the loyalty factor, which is very important in the Congress. All these compulsions have to be balanced out when you're choosing your people. So, and look at the Rural Development Ministry. This is such a key portfolio for the Congress party. And this is the third change that has been made in the 2 years that the UPA2 has been in power. So, clearly they haven't been able to find a minister who really suits the party's interests well enough. Maybe Jairam Ramesh will fill that lacuna.
At this point, we are also joined by Dilip Padgaonkar, former editor of the Times of India. Mr. Padgaonkar, we had Aarti Jairath clearly saying that the Prime Minister's stopped short of the ruthless surgery that many would have expected him to do in this reshuffle, something that even he had hinted to in the last cabinet reshuffle. Do you think the Prime Minister has been successful in sending out a message that he means business as far as governance is concerned?
Please understand that the Prime Minister is more of a homeopath than a surgeon. And it is homeopathic treatment that he believes in. You've never ever had this Prime Minister taking dramatic gestures of any kind. He's not done it before. He's not likely to do it again. I, however, believe that the exercise that he has done now is meant to address three of his concerns. The first is to put quickly behind public opinion the scam tainted several months past. The second is to ensure that he has a team which will accelerate the pace of economic reforms, notably by passing bills still pending in Parliament. And the third, equally important, that he wanted a team which would eventually be responsible for the preparation of the next general elections. So there is an image issue, an economic reforms issue, and above all, a political issue which he needed to address. And it is in that perspective, I believe, that you had this new team.